Well, look at us, all rested and colored nicely.
Well, who said I was rested, Sharon?
Well, maybe I'm just talking about myself. I'm pleased with
Oh,
my tan. I feel like I got enough sleep last night. And okay, it's all about me. You guys look good, though.
thank you.
Winning at life. Yep.
Yeah, we're doing our best, right?
Yep. After 6
Uh,
weeks apart, I think.
yeah, it kind of went by pretty quickly. And yet at the same time, I think, hmm, maybe slow.
Yep.
I mean, I missed you guys. I missed our weekly chats and stuff like that. And yet at the same time, the weather was so erratic and like roller coastery. I had enough to complain about there. And I don't know, man. Like it was a good break. We got to do other things, but now we're back for season 12 of
Crazy.
90s now,
Yeah.
which is like the 12th round of proof that we are still happening.
Yeah. And I have a surprise for the both of you that you
Oh
don't
my
know about.
gosh. Is it a puppy?
It involves no. CC Peniston.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
get out of here.
When would you like to hear this story?
Um, well, you know what? I want to hear it now.
Okay. You
I
want
think that's
you
a
can do
great
the
way to start the season.
you do the tee
Great
up,
way.
Sharon, and then I'll
Okay, how about that? You know what? We're going to kick off another fun season of all of our favorite things 90s. We'll tell you which of the greatest voices, songwriters, and musical giants wants to get together with another one of those, whose name is Adele. We've got a peek into the reboot of Frasier and how it's going to look without one of their originals. A couple of quick hits on some new music coming our way over the next few weeks. We're going to dust off your memory cards with Kelly's Trivia. We'll hit your musical muscle memory with a 90s rewind. And we're going to talk a rock doc that drives the line. Whoa! How about that, you guys?
We just lost our visual
That
on
was-
Sharon.
That was a
Oh my
roller coaster
goodness.
ride of excitement.
I know. I thought, let's do something crazy out of the gate to prove how big a deal this documentary or the outcome of this documentary, I think, will be for Nickelback. So,
Yeah.
all that aside, CC Peniston, go.
So for our new listeners, in case they haven't been around for all 12 seasons, I don't know if it was around season, was it 6 or 7, Sharon, where I was able to let CC Peniston know. It might have been when we interviewed her, because I've interviewed her a couple of times. I know we did one together.
Yep.
And I did one solo with her. And so I mentioned to her how much I love, obviously most people, I would say most people, many people love her song Finally, right? Like that's
Of course,
that
yeah,
CC Peniston jam.
for
And
sure.
so but my favorite CC Peniston song is We've Got a Love Thing.
Love it.
And so I told her this, and she's like, oh my God, she's like, I have vinyl. I will autograph it for you and send it to you.
Get out of here.
And so I've been waiting for, we'll say 6 years, Sharon, like maybe
Yeah.
probably
How about that vinyl, CC?
this is probably year 6. So anyways, just last night I posted a picture of an interview that I did with Tate McRae, who's an amazing Canadian artist and is getting to be very well known across the planet. Like, she has 2.2 million Instagram followers. She's friends. She's like besties with Olivia Rodrigo. She's doing her thing. So I posted this picture of my interview with her, and CC, I keep forgetting that CC actually follows me on Instagram. Like, I completely forgot about that, which is very sweet to me. And so she writes, and let's also preface this by, again, like, it was just a picture of me and Tate McRae, like has nothing to do with anything else, like just me and Tate McRae. And Cece wrote us a note right here. She goes, I still have your vinyl in my office, LOL. It has your name on it too.
Wow.
And so then I wrote back, it's been worth the wait. And
yeah.
And crickets. So I don't know.
She's like, don't comment on my comment.
Yeah. So I don't know if this means I'm getting it. I don't know if, because as you know, just before the end of season 11 on our show, I happened to mention that she had mentioned something to me a few months ago about this vinyl. So she said, please email my management and they'll give me your address and I'll send it to you. And so I did that. and I received a communique back from management saying like they would pass it along.
saying, who is this?
Yeah. So anyways, the whole situation is that Kelly is still waiting on the We Gotta Love Thing vinyl.
It's almost it's as good, I think, than it's as good as having the actual vinyl, knowing that she knows that you know that she still hasn't sent it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like she knows who you are.
Yeah, yeah. And what I love is that there's a vinyl in her office that she's in, I'm sure, several times a week that has my name on it.
Yeah.
So that gave me some comfort and some solace. So
you should get you know what we should do? We should get some 90s Now post-it notes created.
Yeah.
And send her some and boop, have her stick one on the vinyl. Send this.
Because I'll clearly never get it. I'm clearly never getting this vinyl. So
you know, when the next time she says something, you can say, prove it.
Yeah. You take a picture.
And just send it.
For proof of life.
Yeah, exactly. Take the picture, please forward.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's a great update.
That's my kickoff to season 12, guys. Yeah.
I like it.
It's only going to be down the slope from here.
Yeah.
It could have been the kickoff to season 7, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? We talked about that documentary, or we teased a little bit before we started talking about Cece, but the documentary for Nickelback that had some time at the Toronto International Film Festival, or as festival goers call it, TIFF.
Yeah.
Now the deal is, I think that anytime that you mention the name Nickelback to anybody, the idea that the love-or-hate side gets chosen, which is kind of interesting at this point, this many years later.
Mm-hmm.
And also this many millions of albums sold, not just like a couple of million, many millions of albums sold, millions of concert tickets sold, stadiums filled, is the indication of how much fans love Nickelback. But it's one of those things. And I think if you know that it bothers someone, kind of like if you're the sibling and your younger sibling, you're trying to needle them. If you know that it bothers them, you're going to keep doing it. It's simple. Those are the rules of family engagement, right? So you don't have to love Nickelback. If they have a new album, you just don't buy it, right? Or you don't download it, or you don't whatever with it. But what they seem to be implying, if not saying straight out, there's only so much you can take about people asking you every single day, what do you think about the haters? What do you think about people who hate your guts? You know, so finally, this documentary that's called Hate to Love, at least from Chad's perspective, he's over it, he says. He says, we made a documentary, everybody can watch it. And now from this day forward, if anybody asks that question in the press, it's like the end of the interview. He says, so if you want to end an interview, that's all you have to say, and that'll be it. So I cannot wait, because that's also a little tease too, right? For someone to go, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask. So that video will no doubt appear at some point. Ryan Peake, who is the guitar player, one of them, 1/4 of Nickelback, he says, you know what? We get to take the narrative. We get to actually tell our version of how it feels to turn the other cheek as much as you can. And then at some point it's like, here's our take on it. So that's what the documentary gives us. I love that. This is it though. Like, don't bother. Like I said, though, I think the only reason why anybody would ask about the haters would almost just see what kind of reaction you get.
Mm-hmm.
Like an older brother bugging their little brother.
I'm glad that Chad put this out though, because I think it is enough to, like, it's enough now. Like, it's so enough, and it's like, why, and like how many answers are you expecting them to give out? Like, it sucks, and it sucks that they've had to deal with it for 20 years or 25 years or whatever it is. So it's enough now.
Yeah, and it really does boil down to, if you don't like something, you don't buy that thing. You don't listen to that thing. You don't whatever. Why would you hate it? Because you're hating what millions of other people love. Just let them do their thing. It's funny. People have to pick a side, though. I think that's a cultural phenomenon. You have to have an opinion. You got to stick with it. You can't change your mind.
And it's like,
Anyways.
I know that, there's other celebrities or artists that have to deal with this stuff too. Like, I know for a long time, like I'll just use my person, which is Janet. Like she had to deal with many layers of it. Like she had to deal with when she was just starting to hit, like with Control.
Yep.
It was like when she would do interviews, there's like, you could find clips online where it's like, so what does brother Michael think of blah blah blah? It could never
Exactly.
be just her.
Yeah.
And then it went from that to then, like, skip 2 albums ahead where she's like a bona fide star, 1,000,000% at this point. Like she was already
Yep.
that in Control, but like 1,000,000%. And then asking her about, well, what do you think about Michael's sexual allegations and his lawsuit? Like, it's like, stop it already. It's like, she's not him. Why are you asking her?
And what do you think you're going to get from asking someone that question? They're not going to answer the question. So they really are just trying to get under their skin to see what sort of a reaction. They don't expect an actual answer, but they want to go on record as getting a reaction from them, which is
or they think
sort of
that
crappy.
they're going to be, they're super naive to think that they're going to be the one that gets it. You know what I mean? Like, or they're feeling throats and they're like, maybe I'll be the one that gets this. Like, I'm going to get this answer. No, you're not. And then you're going to create a sense of mistrust in the other person, and your interview is in effect over at this point because you've not shown them goodwill, so they're not gonna give you much.
They're gonna verbify Nickelback because it'll be like that for everybody. You bring up the haters and it'll be like, you've been Nickelbacked.
Yeah, exactly. That should be a verb now. Good for you, Sharon.
Yeah. I'm here for you, Nickelback.
Yeah.
On we go, Cal. Are you ready to launch us into yet another season of brain teasing? I hope we get an answer trivia.
Yeah. And I wanted to start off. Do we have the sound effect, Adam?
Let's do it.
90s. Now, trivia.
So I feel like it's only right that we start off season 12 with a hard one because we have to, what is it? There's a saying, isn't it? Like something like do it as you mean to go on or whatever. Like there's something about like
that doesn't sound like anything I've ever heard before. It sounds like you're making stuff up.
So all that to say is art and literature is question number 1. Here we are.
Oh my. Yeah.
Which 1993 dystopian novel by Lois Lowry explores a society that has eliminated pain and suffering by conforming to sameness?
The sameness?
To sameness. Yeah.
Sharon.
Sharon.
Blah 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 blah. Eternal Spotless Mind.
Oh, nice. No.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Is that it?
That's a great guess, though.
Yeah. Thank you. Great guess means wrong answer. Go on.
Yeah.
Well, it's better than my answer, which is I don't freaking know.
You couldn't have paid me money to know this. The Giver.
You should have admitted that you knew it, I think. Like, even just lie to us. I can't believe you guys didn't know this one. You don't remember The Giver?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna try that when you're least like not suspecting it, Sharon. And I'll say it with confidence, so then you'll believe me.
Precisely. And no disrespect to Lois
Lowry.
I was just doing other things in 1993 and not reading books.
That's a handful of a name, Lois Lowry. You know what I mean?
She's gonna write you a letter.
Well, why? It's a great name, but it's a lot. Like you have to be focused when, like, imagine as an announcer if you said that. Like if you're like, hey, it's Lois Lowry on Show'em 97.7, like you'd have to.
Why'd you put her on my station? Why'd you put her on yours?
Because I was pretending that I was that you were her. Anyways, she can be on mine. All right, the next one is a sport question.
Okay, I can do this.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
And I mention again, if we have new listeners to the show, these are 90s trivia cards, and I don't write the words. Here we are. Which slammin'.
Wait. I didn't hear you. Start that again, please.
Which slammin' pitcher led the National League in strikeouts for the 1997 season? And by the way, if you're new to the show, Adam was 3.
I don't know my baseball players from the 90s. Babe Ruth.
No, that's the 1890s. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Early 1900s. Cal, can you give us the initials?
CS.
CS.
I feel like you will know.
Kurt Schilling.
There we are. Good job, Sharon.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yep. Strong start to the season.
I needed some help. Strong start means tough questions.
And by the way, before you move on, a quick shout out to your t-shirt that was given to you and me from
Yeah.
Yep.
Kentucky Shane.
One of our faithful listeners, who, by the way, this is his retirement year. Did you see that?
I did see that. Pretty amazing.
But
Good
Shane,
for him.
like, Shane has to be like what, 49? Like, he's not
He's only 49?
I feel like, well, he maybe needs to private message us this, but like he's not much older. Like, I feel like he's between you and I, right? Because you're 9 years old.
She used to be nice in season 11.
Yeah. But I feel like, I don't even know. Like, do you think Shane is like in his 50s? Like, I don't know.
That's a good question. Well, if he's able to retire at any age,
Mhm.
good for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And no doubt he's had an impact on his students over the course of the last many years, based on the nice posts we've had access to over the last few.
Yeah.
He's one of those teachers, I think, that that kids will remember and appreciate as you know, they grow up and into adulthood. So good for him.
Yeah, and it was funny because when I saw the post where he said it's my last first day, right? That's what he put on his social media.
Yeah.
I was happy for him, but immediately sad for the students that won't get a chance to have Shane.
Yeah.
So
Well, keep on keeping on, Shane, because soon it's going to be, this is the last first Friday.
yeah.
And then it's going to be, this is the last 1st of October, you know?
Yep.
And his students are going to be like, can you stop it? I kind of want to miss you. Okay, so we mentioned the name drop of who it is that wants to work with Adele. It's Shania Twain who wants to work with Adele, one of the greats that wants to work with one of the greats, right? She says she loves everything about what she does musically and on stage. She actually went to one of her shows as subtly and undercover as Shania Twain could, and yet wasn't spotted by Adele, because Adele has since said on social media that she would have self-combusted had I seen you. She said, I adore you, which is great. So I can't imagine that collaboration is too far off. What's cool also is that Shania Twain is getting set for her 3rd residency in Las Vegas, an extended stay that'll start in May. There's I don't think she's got much action happening in June, July, but the other months there's a good handful of shows straight through to the end of the year that you can investigate tickets on if you want to check that out. And the fun thing is that she does $1 from every ticket purchase that gets donated to a fund that helps that has programs that help educate, inspire, and empower children in vulnerable communities. So she's already collected in the neighborhood of over $1.5 million for the organization called Shania Kiss Can, right? Or Kids Can. I think it was a typo.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so good for her, good for you. You get to see her live and you'd be doing something good at the same time. And what she's also done is released the 25th anniversary edition of Come On Over. 25th anniversary of that album. So the re-release included a few extras, which is also super fun for fans.
Amazing. Love her. Love Adele. Can't wait for the collab.
Oh, that'll be great. Because we know what'll happen too. Remember Shania was on Kelly Clarkson, and she liked the Kelly Clarkson. What was the name of the 4 sisters that she had on? And she said, I want to work with you. And when we see each other at the Grammys, why don't you? Yeah.
Sister group, right?
Yeah. No, it wasn't the Grammys. It was Country Music Awards.
The CMAs?
Yeah.
Okay.
She had them on there. And so it was a total, like, she put it out there and she followed through and did it. So I can't imagine her not doing the same with Adele, you know?
Yep.
So Frasier, we were talking about the reboot of Frasier a lot last season. So what's cool is that it's going to happen in just a few weeks from now in October. And the angle that they're taking with the missing element that is John Mahoney as Frasier's dad is that his son, Freddie, who's now a grown-up, will be the presence and actually in character is quite a lot like Frasier's dad. So it's neat because they're implying that there's kind of a strained relationship between the two of them. and that'll be a running thing, or running theme rather, throughout this reboot, which is good because they need that. I think Fraser and Niles's hoity, educated tone that they have was always so quickly grounded by a one line from
Yep.
John Mahoney's character. So that will be cool. Also, that that there will be a neighborhood bar called Mahoney's, which will be the other way that they will pay tribute to him.
I'm excited also for any appearance by BB Newirth. So
Oh, no kidding.
love her.
Gosh. And it's not like it's going to be on regular old TV, though I think at this point, when it comes to streaming platforms, everybody's pretty used to accessing things like Paramount Plus, which is where you'll find the Fraser reboot.
Yep.
Yeah. So mention also a couple of quick music hits. I think it's awesome that also in October, Rolling Stones' new album, first, I think it's 18 years. They've been at it for more than 60.
Yeah.
And the new song from this album, called Hackney Diamonds, is called Angry, and it's really good.
I listened to it.
Like it's straight up like, okay, it's totally sounds like the Stones, but it doesn't sound like, an 80-year-old lead singer fumbling through a rock song. It's like he's still doing it, man. Like I remember even like heading into the beginning of our favorite decade, where Mick Jagger was like, people were like, "Hey, man, are you still doing this?" He's
And
like, "Yeah."
Do we know if they recorded the album? Like, has it been like 6 years it's been recorded, or they've just recently recorded the album?
I think it's pretty recent because I don't recall if Charlie Watts is on the album at all. It might be one song that he's on. And they have Bill Wyman come back and do a song too in tribute to Charlie Watts. So it's relatively new.
Yeah.
It's called Hackney Diamonds. So you look for that on October 20th. And the other, sorry, Kelvin.
I know we have to wrap up, but will you guys play that on Chum?
Oh yeah, we already are.
Oh yeah, okay, amazing, great. Okay.
Yeah, as soon as it was available, we were on it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't not play new Stones, and that's the best part, is that there are bands that release new music, rock bands that release new music that you think that they would automatically get played. They're not always great.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's
so
why.
If you have the chance to play the song that everybody loves, or the songs that everybody loves, you're going to err on that, I think, ahead of something that may not stand up as strongly as the others. But I always think there's room for everything, like even if you hit a new one a couple of times just to give people a taste of it and decide for themselves. But that's the way my wheels spin. Okay. Yeah. Now, here's the other thing, new music. Since the holidays are right around the corner, I almost said that with a straight face. They're not around the corner. It's September. But we have had access to school supplies for many weeks now, and those will probably be out the door in a few minutes. And so they can make way for, Christmas decorations. We can also be spending some musical quality time with Cher.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that amazing?
Yep. I'm so happy about this.
Because it's her first Christmas album.
How did that happen?
I don't even know. Incredible,
right? Like Away in a Manger or the vocoder that she's getting.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
Because even when she took on ABBA after being in
I forgot about that.
Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
The second Mamma Mia. Yeah. You could tell that she was just wowed by the music that she was present for when it happened in real time, but it was like she was taken right back there and inspired to do it herself. So I wonder what it is that made her feel all holiday like, but she's all in. She posted on Instagram saying kind of, who's with me? So it's going to be Christmas for 2.6 million plus Cher fans when she releases this album.
Yeah. Can't wait. What's going to sound good is her voice on Rocking Around the Christmas Tree.
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny because it's possible.
Yep.
Now, let's see. Did I do this? You know what happened? My computer gave me some grief. So I'm going to just try to find something that would fuel my, 90s rewind, which I thought in essence would bring us, I thought we would go right to the heart of our favorite decade, which would have been 1995. And before my computer gave me attitude before, I was on this fun site where I like to collect my chart information. And I'm pretty sure that that's the website that messes me up when my computer goes wonky. So bear with me, you guys. We're good. So I'll go through it quickly because I thought even within the top 10 songs, if I were to grab a handful of them, it would make all of us happy because we would get to hear Hootie and the Blowfish, Only Want to Be With You.
Yep.
Great
Yep.
song.
We'd get to hear Boombastic by Shaggy
Okay.
and his Orlando accent. We'd get to hear Waterfalls by TLC.
That's a weird lineup if you're going to listen to all of them back to back. But
I know. It's like essential 90s playlist, right? How about this one that I know will make at least Kelly happy? Runaway from Janet
Yay.
Jackson, right? And then number one at this time in 1995, I thought at least for back to season 12, back to school vibes with a tip of the cap to our friend Kentucky Shane, we would go to Coolio and LV and Gangsta's Paradise.
Yay.
So there's that. See, arms up in the air, you're waving them around like you just don't care.
Yeah.
And that's your 90s rewind. The first
Job,
four,
Jerome.
season 12.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thanks, you guys. Great chat.
Yep. Good kickoff to season 12.
We're back, you guys, and thank you very much for finding us wherever it is that you do. Do you want to throw in anything more before we say a goodbye?
No, I'm done for ce soir. That's enough of me.
See you
A
next.
done?
I'm out.
Yeah, man.
I
I'm
gotta
out.
run. I'm so hungry. Give me some food.
He's hangry. We gotta go. Thank you very much, everybody, for finding us wherever it is that you do and spreading the good word. Welcome once again to another fun season of 90s Now, still happening.